This Champions League Matchday 3 Picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorches. You can win 100x. That's right, turn $5 into 500 in one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away $100,000. Use a promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus, up to $500. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. NBA is back, and so is the NBA Gambling Podcast. To celebrate, we're giving away an NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog for all the details. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Mal and Baz, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne, the northeast of England. Today is Sunday, the 22nd of October, and we are here to have a little look at Champions League Week 3, Match Day 3, taking place Tuesday and Wednesday night. We'll have a little squiz around Premier League weekend, which is 9/10 of the way through as well. Joining me, it's very late, Barry. I feel like I owe you a mild apology. It's Mr. Barry Penaluna. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm sure it's a very mild apology. I've never had a proper apology from you for everything.
Well, I haven't really put you out, that's why. It's just
you've put me through over the years, Malcolm. I can't remember a fully fledged apology at any point. So.
I haven't done to you to apologise. You've lived off me for years. Hey, lad. Well, it's what time is it, Barry? It's 7 minutes past 11 in the evening.
It is.
I tell you what I did.
I am full of Malbec.
Oh, you are? Yeah, well, you're full of it.
And stinky brie. I'm full of brie.
Nice.
I'm 90% brie and Malbec at the moment, and I'm now on the French sausage. A little bit of saucisson.
Sausage is back.
Bit of saucisson.
Well, I've got a French-related story to tell you in a minute, Baz. So, yeah, the reason for the late, as you know, while Barry sits there and quaffs wine and sausage, I'm very much a working class man, a working class hero, you could say. So I went out to work last night. As I said on the show, I went to Barnard Castle, where matey tested his eyeballs. And I was late. It was too far away. It was too late, Baz. It was a right fuck on. I got back at 2 a.m, which was fine because I knew I had nothing to do all day. And I was on the drive. I was sitting on the drive. I hadn't even got out the van. And the lad I work with, Matt, we were talking about the job. And then he said, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, what? So it turns out we had a job tonight as well, which I'd completely and utterly forgotten about and was absolutely furious. So I've been out tonight and worked. And hence the reason we're a couple of hours late. It hasn't really put Barry out even a little bit. So I don't know what he's twisting about. But there, that was that. I've got 3 bits of lifestyle news, Baz, to get to. First one's just a bean update. I think people have been quite concerned about the bean. So I told the IT department on Friday that the bean had been discussed, and she became instantly furious, saying, well, everyone's going to think I'm a right scruffy cow, were her exact words, for not tidying up, for not making the bean go away. So then she wanted to clean the bean up, but I persuaded her not to, and that there was more important things afoot, as in like the end game of the bean rather than her cleaning the bean. So the bean's still going, microwaves another 15 or 20 minutes or so. The bean's it's enduring, Baz. The bean endures that. Secondly, we're going back to France. Number one daughter has returned. She's been to Paris, Barry, on a little school trip, 4 or 5 nights. So she's back tonight. I've just seen her. It was nice to see her. So I messaged her on Saturday afternoon, said Newcastle are 3-0 up. Now, obviously, she's gone to France for what I believe to be this enriching cultural experience, you know. Immerse yourself in the French culture, the French people, speak the language, improve your education and all that. I messaged her, Newcastle 3-0 up, and she replied, yes, we're watching it in the pub. So, where the teachers were at this point, when the 13-year-olds were watching the football in the pub. I mean, she could have done that down the road, like she could have done that at the Duke of Wellington. So what they're doing in Paris, watching the football in the pub. So I don't know why my money's going on that, Barry. That's ridiculous. But the third thing, and this is good, Baz, it's a Real Men of Degen story. So if you listen to Sean and Ryan, they have the Real Men of Degens. I'm actually a Real Men of Degen recipient, Barry, of that award for my Hitching a Lift to Las Vegas story back in the day. So tonight I'm on the blackjack table, Barry. I'm dealing blackjack to the wedding guests, and the father of the bride is playing. And we're just having for you. It's a fun, if people don't know, it's a little fun casino. We're playing for fun money to entertain the people at the wedding. So the father of the bride's playing. But then it's time for some of the formalities of the wedding. And his other daughter shouts across to him, Dad, are you not coming to watch your daughter cut a cake and do the first dance? And he shouts back, it's okay, the wife's taking photos. And then carries on playing blackjack. What a freaking legend. So you became my instant hero. No room for emotion when you're playing fun blackjack, Barry. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit strong, that, isn't it? It's okay, the wife's taking photos. What do you think of that?
Yeah, he'll be bored out of his mind looking at those photos tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, great response from him. So I like that a lot. And I think that's my lifestyle done, Barry. You got anything to add before we start talking football?
Not a lot. It's just chaos in this house because I go on holiday Wednesday.
You're up to the Middle East, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sort the peace out.
I'm going to bring peace to the Middle East, yeah. Via lots of beer and cocktails. And so we'll see how we get on.
Are you still going? You're not in any grave danger?
No, I mean, it's a good 450 kilometres from the Gaza Strip. Like, so that's far enough, isn't it? I don't know how far missiles go, Malcolm, but I'm
not an expert, but
surely not that far. So no, yes, I'm off to Egypt. I'm looking forward to it. No major issues at the moment. Government advice is you can travel to Egypt, so therefore I shall be travelling to Egypt on Wednesday. So yeah, it's carnage in here, just everything upside down. People washing laundry done, filling cases. There's Amazon deliveries arriving at every 15-minute intervals at the moment, I think.
Oh yeah.
Sure, Amazon will probably be knocking at midnight tonight with another parcels, just other things getting ordered every day. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just getting on that plane and being out of here. Like,
well, even the other day when the IT department took Betty along to school to leave for France, 9 o'clock on Tuesday night, they left with a suitcase. I mean, I don't know what she's taken for 4 nights or whatever. And then 15 minutes later, the IT department comes running back in the house to get a bigger suitcase. Even though it was packed, I saw them leave with it. So you come back, I had to go in the loft and get a bigger suitcase out. So I don't even know. And that was after they'd gone to school to get on the bus. So there you go.
I've got a massive case,
because you what, mate?
I have a massive case, and it's probably about a third full. That's me done. So everyone else is panicking. They haven't got enough room. I'm like, just stick it in my case. There's tons of room. I don't know why you need all this space. Like, 10 days. What's that? 2 pairs of underwear. Turn them inside out.
I had a week in Vegas on hand luggage last year. I mean, I'm sure you can survive. Like, I was just saying that it's very late and it's NFL. Everyone's stuck into the NFL, so the chat's a little bit quiet. Someone's lurking who's not talking. I want to know who that is. Captain Insano. I thought Captain Insano was in the last time I checked before I left work. Captain Insano was in grave danger of being guillotined out of that league, but he reckons he's alive. He's alive and well. Captain,
he was in the mix when I looked earlier on, but then there was a few of them. It was tight between 4 or 5. We're safe as houses. No.
We are safe as houses. That one team that is absolute dog shit, OC Kwan UC. It's terrible. You couldn't pick worse players. He's going to top score this week. I have no idea how that's happened, Barry. He's had like 7 near-death experience every week. And all of a sudden, he scored 10 gazillion points tonight. So, yeah, maybe we underestimated. And that is a good team name, by the way, OC Kwan UC. I think that's the best team name in there. So yeah, we're winners, Baz. I had some winners. I'll tell you what we're going to do though. I'm going to do the old ad reads, Baz, before we talk about the winners. What's happening here first? The NBA podcast. Only. I shouldn't have read that out. That's one of those things that you're not meant to read out. Underdog Fantasy, Baz. I'll read that out.
I'm the one that's full of Malbec here, Malcolm. You're meant to be
Baz, man, my mind's scrambled. I told you I've been working far too hard. Underdog has introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and enjoy a spicy 100x payout. For a limited time, Underdog's extending the first bonus. That's back up to $500 again. We've got $100,000 Sundays continuing. 10 lucky winners winning 10 grand each. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. And the NBA Underdog contest is back to celebrate. We're giving away NBA Gambling Podcast. Sorry, head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog. And the NBA Gambling Podcast are going to use a random winner if you use the promo code SGPN. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Dog. So picks-wise, Baz, I was due a good one. I talked about having to play from behind for ages. And when Liverpool-Everton went 0-0 at half-time on Saturday, because I'd taken the second half to be the highest scoring half, I just had a feeling I might be okay. And sure enough, I went through. So I finished the weekend, Barry, 6 for 9, which is good. About 12 and 3/4 units, just not quite 13 units, Barry, but happy with that. My score I hit. I don't think I've ever hit one of them. Callum Wilson in the onion bag. I got my Newcastle pick right for the first time this season. 1 out of 9. So that's a streak. #streak. And also, I've decided that the red card parlay is bollocks. I don't like it, Baz. This is the second attempt, and I've given it up. It's total random. I don't know what I was thinking, frankly. No one's got an insight into what's going to happen. As it happened, there was 4 of those 8 games that red cards yesterday, Barry, and I missed them all. But we're all, 9-2, 4-1? If you back the red card in those games yesterday, even if you put on a couple of if you parlayed them all, there was money to be made on red cards because people are just getting sent off for stupid little shit. It's not like they're going around kicking 7 bells out of each other. It's literally
one more as well, Malcolm, shouldn't there?
Sorry?
There should have been one more red card.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, we will. We'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, I was delighted. Got Tottenham tomorrow. But yeah, a good week for me. Absolutely delighted with what went on. How did you fare, Barry?
I don't know, okay. About 50-50 in terms of winners and losers. But some good prices. So profit from even stakes, he would be in profit on mine. Liverpool kicked off with the handicap. So that went okay. The big one, I mean, there's a couple of things we both absolutely nailed, and that was Wolves.
Wolves was a good one, yeah.
Was beautiful. I mean, I'd said at the time that was my favourite pick of the week. Whether it won or not, it just felt like one of the best picks of the week at that price. Those teams in that form. Bit disappointing with Man City. I took Man City to score 3 or more too early on, and then it fizzled out. And then I think we both got the Newcastle game absolutely nailed. You took the handicap, and I told you I was a little bit cagey about the handicap, but I was more than confident to just fade Palace's attack. I thought Palace wouldn't score. Newcastle will win 1-0. And I said at the time, Palace might keep it tight. We'll keep it 1-0. Or if it's one of them games where Newcastle go mad, I've still got my chance because Palace just don't score, and I'm fine. So both of us went completely different ways about that game. And both of us cashed pretty easily in the end. So that was a really good one. I was really disappointed with the Forest Luton. I went unders. I think you might have went the same.
0-0 at half time, Barry. You thought that was in, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So that was disappointing. And then again today, you took Villa. I took both teams to score and the overs. So picked some really good stuff. Mafia will reunite is back in the chat. He was in on Wednesday night, and he was very much in sync with me on a lot of things. Things like the Wolves play, Villa, Sort of looking back, I know he was on a lot of the winning stuff we had, so he was putting out some good stuff himself as well. So yeah, good to see you back. So yeah,
you need to tell us about your TikTok, Baz, because I didn't see any of this. You went a bit wild on TikTok.
TikTok was where all my good stuff was. Like, I have been doing a TikTok live every Saturday morning, 11:30. So if you're not following us, the links are in the profile, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you can find my TikTok link. And the idea is I'd come on and just talk for an hour about the Premier League. So the Liverpool-Everton games come out, know the lineups, we'll talk about that, talk about the Premier League and picks, and we'll put a bet builder out on the lunchtime game. So we've done all of that. But generally what it's turned into now is people want to know more about the EFL stuff. So I'm starting to have a look more at the EFL and put a lot of picks out on that. I put 2 trebles out on the TikTok live in the EFL. One was the team totals treble. That came in at 5-1 plus 500. And the other one was just a money line treble, which came in at 3-1. And a couple of other good things. So all of my best stuff was on the TikTok because it was all in the lower leagues. So yeah, get involved with that if you get a chance to do so. But yeah, good weekend all around for me.
I mean, normally we sort of pick sort of big winners and big losers from the weekend. Well, it wasn't really. It was all pretty much went to form. The one team that stood out for me, Barry, is Burnley. They pretty much, I think they've got to go on my do not bet list now because I took them again. I didn't take them to win this week. I had them out as my 1-1 draw of the week. And we said we've made excuses for them several times. They're playing good teams. But this was a poor result. But the performance and everything, and they just haven't really contributed anything. Like, so I think yesterday was the Burnley alarm bells for the first time, or shite, as Mafia has just very eloquently described them as in the comments. So yeah, Burnley do look shite, Barry.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd give Burnley a bit of a longer leash than I should have done. Really, I kept thinking they'd turn things around, and I did catch them against Luton. Got them at a decent price then, but they haven't looked good at all. Like, they look terrible. As you say, winners and losers, not a lot. I tell you what, Malcolm, the Man United game, they won, but it didn't change any of my mind about what I said beforehand. I would not want to be back in Man United at 1-3 against anybody away from home. And I wouldn't have wanted to be on it. Fair enough, it was a winner, but Christ, they were poor again, like really scraping the barrel to get past Sheffield United.
We handicapped it in it. Baz, my notes here say Man will win 2-1, fortunately. Because you just absolutely knew. And it takes a centre-half, lays it off to the full-back, who bends one into the top corner. And that's how they won. Just get back to Burnley quick, Baz.
As well. I'm sure it comes off his shin or something like that. He doesn't strike it very well. And it just bobbles in. But I mean, the result is what you'd expect. But I wouldn't want to be back in Man United with anyone's money at the minute. Like,
absolutely not. No, I think they're going to feature when we get the Champions League in a minute. Burnley,
Liverpool, Everton.
Hang on, just throw it out, Baz. Burnley 13-8 plus 162 for relegation, which as it stands, I mean, Sheffield United, Luton are in the shit. Bournemouth look horrible still, but and then maybe Everton. But it looks at maybe 3 from 4, 3 from 5 at the moment. But yeah, that's not a bad price on Burnley because they're offering nothing. I can't decide. Mafia saying he feels sorry for company. Can't decide if I do or not because there's ways and means you can play his football. We've seen teams come up and play football, but also have a little bit about them and sign the right kind of player. So we'll see how that pans out, Barry.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what team he wants to play for a start. It seems to be a different lineup every week. I just don't think he knows what he's doing at the moment, and he needs to find out very quickly. Liverpool, Everton, we've got obviously a big talking point. That was shambolic from the referee not sending off Canate. Absolutely shocking because Young goes off in the first half for 2 bookings, 2 yellow card offences, no complaints at all. He has to go. But then when Konate is being booked and he makes that challenge, it's a yellow card all day long. And you just think, how can that ref, having made the decision earlier on Young, some of the commentators will say with Ashley Young, there's got to be a bit of common sense. And for me, there hasn't. If it's a yellow card, if he's got one, it's tough shit. If it's a yellow card offence, it's a second yellow, you're off. You can't have anything, it's his second yellow, so we'll give him a bit more leniency. So having done it in the first half, to then take that decision in the second half was just absurd. And he must have felt like a tit straight away, because within minutes Klopp takes him off. And at that point, the ref must know, I've fucked up here, because even Klopp knows he should have been off. And Klopp said as much after the game. He said, they got lucky on that occasion. It's no wonder people think refs are dodgy when stuff like that goes on, because it was it wasn't a difficult decision. He just bottled it.
We did say 3 weeks ago when Klopp was asking for a replay, he doesn't want a replay. He wants some more decisions, and that was why he was making that statement. And it wasn't we weren't big and clever pointing out. Everyone in the world knew what he was doing. It's not something we were onto. But it's right, and it worked.
Alex Ferguson done that for years and years, didn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Constantly sort of playing those games with refs and things like that. But
I do think that a lot of the first yellows, though, Baz, I was watching the Newcastle game yesterday, and there's loads of yellow cards for nothing. And you just leave yourself no real. Ashley Young's first one was a yellow. The kid's gone past him and he's kicked him over. But it wasn't a little shirt tug or a little something. But with all these the first yellows being so soft, that's when you leave yourself nowhere to go then. Burnley got sent off for Burnley. I can't remember. Connor Roberts. And the two nothing little things. A sending off should be what Lewis Cook did. He headbutts the bloke in the face. That's a red light. You've got to think, is what he's done worthy of him leaving this game? 2 little shirt pulls or something. Yeah. It's all a bit stupid. It's the first yellows that. But while it's happening, like I say, keep trying to take advantage of it, because we did have 4 out of 8 red cards yesterday. The prices were all, like I say, 4-1, 9-2. So you'd have doubled your money, if you're just taking a red card in every game. But okay, you happy to move on, Baz? Have you anything else you need to tell us?
No, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it. Okay. I'm going to read the rest of these adverts, though, Barry. Love the old adverts. What am I doing? Let's have a look. Hall of Fame bets. We love a bit of that. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. We search NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer with historical stats and data. Hall of Fame bets, revolutionary parlay optimizer tool. Gives you hit rates broken down by leg, expected probabilities for the parlay, sort players by hit rate on any bets. Find the best value. So stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month. Start researching and start winning with Hall of Fame bets. Right, picks, Barry. I've got five and a bit. Champions League match day 3, covering Tuesday and Wednesday night. And I'm going to lead off with the Tuesday 8 p.m. kick-off, 3 p.m. Eastern time between Manchester United and FC Copenhagen. Man United are 2-5, minus 250. The draw is 15-4, plus 375. Copenhagen are 6-1. Quite a lot of my handicaps here, Baz, were pretty quick and pretty straightforward. There was stuff jumped out almost instantly. And I think when I first said that I'm doing Man United game, did I detect a little wry smile on your face, Barry? You in the Man U game as well?
First pick on the board, definitely.
So, all right, okay. Hopefully we can come down on the same side then. Man United is shite. They've lost 2 out of 2 in this competition, having conceded 7 times. I mean, that 3-2 home defeat to Galatasaray is an absolute shocker. And I think Copenhagen have been competitive. They scored 2 in Galatasaray. They scored 1 at home to Munich. I mean, do you want to put up Copenhagen as a comp to Sheffield United, possibly? Not a million miles away. Or Crystal Palace from last week. Teams like that. Both teams to score, Barry. 19-20, minus 105. Something will happen, like happened against Sheffield United. They'll get a penalty and something else terrible, and they'll win 2-1. But I cannot, for the life of me, see them keeping Copenhagen out. Copenhagen have looked lively. I watched that first game in Galatasaray because I think we backed Copenhagen at 4-1 and actually got paid out before Galatasaray came back to draw. But they're all right, they're not a bad little side. And Man United couldn't keep a clean sheet against Bob's team at the minute. Like, so yeah, both teams to score is 19-20 minus 105, please.
So we've got the same first game. We've got the same first pick, Malcolm. You've pretty much read the exact same notes out here. As I say, they've scraped past Sheffield United. They've scraped past Brentford. Defeats to Palace and Galatasaray. And I've said the same thing. If those teams can cause Man United problems, then Copenhagen certainly can. And for the same reasons you mentioned, they caused trouble with Bayern. Bayern, they took the lead, and Bayern had to come really late to win that one. And as you say, the Turkey one where they went 2-0 up in Galatasaray. So yeah, I just think, as you say, Man United aren't picking up many clean sheets. So the starting point for me was exactly the same. Copenhagen will score here. Copenhagen might win here the way it's been, because Copenhagen are a better team than Sheffield United and probably Brentford at the moment. But yeah, both teams to hit. It's hit in all 4 games in this group so far. And as you say, 19-20 is a very nice price. So very same pick. Man United, Copenhagen, both teams to score 19-20 minus 105.
Nice. Solid start, Baz. Team right. The other game in that group is Galatasaray, Bayern Munich. Mafia is throwing out both teams to score 2 goals. Love that. Big old price, that one. Baz, do you want to take us somewhere next?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Tuesday. I've got 3 on Tuesday and 2 on the Wednesday. So I'm going to go with Union Berlin against Napoli. Don't know if you've got that one. If you have,
I do not have Union Berlin.
Union Berlin. So let's get the prices up then if you don't have that one. We have Union Berlin 14-5 plus 280. 13-5 the draw plus 260. And 19-20 Napoli minus 105. One of my best picks in the last round of games was Braga against Union Berlin. I took Braga to score 2 or more. That was 5-2 plus 250. Went on and won 3-2. I wish I'd got up the ladder because 3 goals for Braga in that one would have been a good price, probably around 8 or 9-1. And my handicap at the time was that Union had just lost their way. They'd lost 4 in a row at that point. They've now lost 7 in a row because they lost that one, and they've lost the 2 since in the league. They're just not in very good form, and in fact they're in terrible form. Napoli haven't quite hit the levels they were at last season, but they pushed Madrid hard. 3-2 defeat to Madrid. They went away to Braga and got a good result. Union in the current form just have to be approached, and I think at this price, Napoli on the money line 19-20 minus 105 has to be the pick for me. Napoli to beat Union Berlin at 19-20.
Okay, like that, Baz. No, I didn't take that game. I'm still on Tuesday, 8 o'clock here. My game is Sevilla against Arsenal. Do you know what? I nearly didn't. I picked this game, Baz, and then I saw all that mad racist shit going on in Sevilla last night, and I nearly thought I'm not even going to fucking handicap them. But you probably shouldn't all their club and fans. It just fucking agitated us so much. I just thought, fuck them, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I'm sure the majority of their fans not like that even a little bit. But yeah, I can't believe that shit still goes on in Spain and Italy, particularly, with absolutely zero punishment. They just do what they want every week. Sevilla are 16-5 plus 320. The draw's 11-4 plus 275. Arsenal are 4-5 minus 125. So Sevilla are just plodding along in the league. They're sitting there where they always are. Every time I look at them, they're in 14th. But they're a different proposition in Europe. It's really bizarre how they just keep being able to turn this on. Obviously, often in the Europa League when they've dropped down, or if they're just in that competition, they've drawn both games so far. Arsenal beat PSV 4-0, but then had a 2-1 defeat in Lens. And Arsenal just aren't really playing great. I think they got away with one yesterday. 2-0 down with not long left. They probably should have lost. I mean, credit to them for coming back. I don't think that's a penalty, by the way, Barry. The Arsenal one.
Who were they playing?
Chelsea, header from a corner. He heads it.
I agree. I mean, none of these handballs really, in my mind, should be penalties. But as soon as it happens, you know it's going to get given as a penalty. And it's crap because there's nothing deliberate about it, is there?
No.
I mean, what was the other one? Yes, there was another one. Hey, to be fair, the one in the Man United game, he does lean into it. So that was fine.
Everton had one. Liverpool got one.
Again, I don't know. He lets his arm hang a little bit long, doesn't he? The Everton one, which is, but his arm's there before the ball's even played, and it's not there because he's trying like starfishing. You know what I mean? He's running, and his arms are going like that. But not one of those penalty decisions surprised me, because the current rule is it's a penalty every time, and it's crap. Like it needs to change. Need to go back to like some sort of intention.
Yeah.
Because
agreed.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal probably easily could have got beaten. Like I said, they got that win against Manchester City, but they weren't actually very good that day. Sevilla, they just never get turned over at home. Like Mafia stored out your Arsenal on the handicap here. But I'm going the other side. And I messaged you about this the other day because I couldn't get me little brain around the lines, but the Sevilla or draw, the old famous 2-bet situation, is 18 to 19 minus 105. But Sevilla plus half a goal on the Asian handicap is 17 to 16. That's plus 106. And I thought I was missing something. So I messaged you. I went, Barry, can you just confirm this is the same bet? And it is the same bet. So I don't know why the Sevilla or draw would be minus 105 odds on, and Sevilla on the Asian handicap is 10 points better. Maybe you can explain that to me, I can't. But my pick is going to be Sevilla plus half a goal on the Asian handicap. I can see they've got some mad record like against English teams. We handicapped them against Man United in the Europa League last year. I know Man United aren't as good as Arsenal, but they just turned them over comfortably at an incredible price last year. So I'll take Sevilla again, but not as bold. Plus half a goal on the Asian. And Mafia is going to eat his words if Sevilla get away with it.
Yeah. 2 bets.
Sevilla plus half a goal on the Asian handicap, Barry.
2 bets. So you've got the draw and the win. Is that right?
No. Whatever happens is, take the result, Barry, add half a goal on for Sevilla, and then we'll find out if they win or lose. There's only There's only 2 outcomes, Barry.
2 bets.
You've got two outcomes, Barry. Win, win or lose. 2 outcomes, right?
As long as you know you've done exactly the same as what I've done over and over again. And
no, you picked draw no bet, which is 3 outcomes. So you can win, you can lose, or you can push. 3 outcomes. But listen, look at me fingers. I know this isn't great audio if you're listening to the podcast, but there's an extra finger on this hand. That's the 3rd option, Barry. Over here, look. There's only...
What we'll do, we'll mute Malcolm because he's still going on and on and on, and nobody really needs to listen to it anymore.
Come on, then.
I'll mute you now. Getting boring listening to you.
Stop being stupid.
Arsenal. You're going to love this, Malcolm. Okay. The pick's Arsenal to win 5-6. So there is 3 outcomes, and one of us will be on the right side of it. I just think it's an important game for Arsenal, having dropped the Lens game. Sevilla haven't been great this season. I think they've only won 2 games all season. Lots of draws. 5 of the last 7 have been draws. And 4 of them were score draws. So good signs for both teams to score. So I did think about goals, but then Arsenal have kept 3 clean sheets in the last 5 as well, which pushes me back away from Sevilla, because I just don't think they're as good as... I know their European form is always good, but they have only won 2 games all season. They're sitting down in 13th in the league. And Arsenal are just a better side, and a price worth taking. And I took the same again. I took Arsenal to beat Chelsea for the same reason, and that didn't come off. But I just think Arsenal are close enough to evens for me to be happy to take Arsenal to win here.
Oh, they got beat against bleeding Lons last time, Barry. Go on, you go next.
Cracking on then. Where are we? That's Tuesday done for me. So I'm into Wednesday now. It's Celtic against Atletico Madrid. I mean, how do you weigh up Celtic? You're looking at a Champions League match, and you've got to look at the form and stuff. But I think, how do you weigh up Celtic's form coming into these games? Because they win every week in Scotland, but as we know, it's a significant step up. This, like, you just can't give any credit for their week-to-week results.
I think it's my system, Barry. It's safe to assume that that's shite.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm.
That's my default position on it.
I mean, it's a step up in quality, and it's a step up they haven't dealt with. They've lost their first 2 games. So what chance have they got here? Well, not much for me. Atletico are top of the group. They're arguably better than the 2 sides Celtic have faced so far, and they've lost both of them. Atletico have only lost once all season, and they've won the last 6 games in a row now. They're on a 6-game winning streak. That includes a 3-1 win against Real Madrid. They've scored 2 or more in all of those 6 games. And they've scored 3 or more in 4 of those last 6 games as well. So they're full of goals at the moment. They're in great form. And they're nearly even money to beat Celtic. I think this one's the pick of the round for me, Atletico Madrid. Yeah. 19-20, Atletico to beat Celtic. And as I say, I mentioned earlier, Atletico scoring form is good. 5-6 for them to score 2 or more, and 3-1 for them to score 3 or more. 2 picks I like as well. But the pick for me is just Atletico on the money line. This would be my, if we did a lock, that would be my lock of the week. Atletico to beat Celtic.
I'm not entirely sure I've missed that, Baz. Looking up and down the list now. That's another arse sniffer. We haven't had Barry's arse sniffer for a few weeks. But I look at his second look now. And like I say, I did these on Friday. That absolutely jumps off the page. Love it. I'm going back to Tuesday for my third pick here, Barry. And it's Benfica against Real Sociedad. 11-10 Benfica, 5-2 the draw, 12-5 plus 240 Sociedad. Benfica lost 2 out of 2 in the Champions League without scoring. They've won 7 of 8 domestically, but only scored once in each of the last 2. And again, I like kind of fading leagues. It's a bit like you've just done with Celtic. Sociedad got a 1-1 draw against Inter, which is all right, and 1-2-0 in Salzburg. They're sitting 6th in La Liga, which is a decent standard. Won 3 of the last 4. That defeat came against Atletico Madrid. You're just talking about Mafia's used the word impeccable, which is a good way to describe them. There's nothing between these 2 form lines, Barry. So at the price, I'll take the dog. I think Sociedad at 12-5 plus 240 is a massive price. These should be 6-4 each of 2 here. Benfica have shown nothing yet. Sociedad, strong form in a strong league. No problem with a travel spot or anything like that. I'll take Sociedad 12-5 plus 240. Right, move across to Wednesday. I've got a very brief handicap here that says Newcastle are definitely going to win, but I'm not going anywhere near the game.
We'll just stop there, because I've got one more pick, and I had a feeling you were going to do exactly the same, because you said you had 5 and a bit picks, and I've got one more pick, which is my main pick, and then at the bottom I've only made 5 picks, but Newcastle will win 8-11. No explanation. We're just really good. So literally no handicap, no notes, no nothing, but Newcastle will win. That was my half a pick as well. So we've got exactly the same on that. But yeah, no analysis required. Newcastle.
No, mine says 6 words, Barry. Mine says not picking Newcastle, but defo winning. That's the 6 words I've got written down.
I'll
just getting back to Newcastle. If you're going to back Newcastle ever, you've got to go up the ladder, because we've got this propensity to smash the daylights out of teams. If you go back to the start of last season, Barry, I was trying to count off the top of my head, just driving along. I remember getting 4 against Fulham away, 5 at West Ham away, 5 against Brentford at home, 6 against Tottenham. There's 4s and 5s littered all over. And what we're on now, week 9 of the season, 5 against Villa, 8 at Sheffield United, 4 against Palace, 4 against PSG. So if you're going to win, just fucking hell, man. This is another sport all the time. Goals absolutely all over the place. My next pick, though, is, and I've fetched out, this is very much in the same vibe, Barry, as your Napoli and your Atletico Madrid picks here. And this is Antwerp against Porto. Royal Antwerp are 5-2. The draw is 12-5 plus 240. And Porto are now plus 105. I had them down at even money earlier on, but they've drifted a little bit, 21-20. Antwerp have had 2 bad defeats, 5-0 against Barcelona and 3-2 against Shakhtar. I think they were winning in that, conceded 2 goals late. And I can see their campaign falling apart a little bit here. It's not a great league either they come from. Porto won 3-1 in Shakhtar and lost 1-0 to Barcelona. So the two form lines, Porto are a couple of goals clear of Antwerp. If you just take a straight form line through that, Porto are more than good enough to win this, more than good enough to beat Antwerp. Even money, or now 21-20 plus 105 is a cracking price, Baz.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I did look at that one as another one that possibly might have made the card, but didn't for me. One last game for me, Wednesday again, PSG versus AC Milan, the other game in our group. So PSG sitting in second in the group after being schooled by Newcastle in the last round of games.
Still a bit hungover. It was 3 weeks ago.
AC Milan, 2 points, 2 0-0 draws from AC Milan. But AC Milan have lost only once all season. They had a 5-1 battering against Inter just before they played us. But they're now unbeaten in 6 games since. And I think they've won 7 of 10 in all competitions this season. Recent form, maybe 7 of 12, that might be. Recent form, they've won 5. Seen 5 of the last 6 games go under 2.5 goals. So it's been tight all around. And we saw in the last round of games, this PSG side shouldn't really be feared by anyone. And this group is really wide open. I think there's nothing between the 4 teams at all, apart from obviously Newcastle being slightly better than all of them. But I think you can make a case for AC Milan as an underdog here. But the pick for me is under 2.5 goals at 11-10. It's a little bit risky. PSG at home could easily go and hit 3 goals themselves if they're on it. But they haven't been in the finest form this season. They've won just 5 of their opening 8, which is below par for a Paris Saint-Germain team in the French league. Toulouse, Clermont, Lorient have all gone and came away with something against PSG, and they've all managed to keep the score under 2.5. So I think AC Milan can do the same here, under 2.5 goals. I mean, even the win PSG had against Dortmund at home was a 2-0. That would have cashed the unders. So yeah, I like PSG AC Milan to go under 2.5 at 11-10 plus 110.
Okay, nice, Baz. I thought that was tricky. I looked at that game, and there was just better options on the board for me. It's really, really hard. Like, finally for me, I've got a little ladder, Baz, where we like a midweek ladder. It's the early kickoff, so don't be caught out on Wednesday. That's 5:45, which is 12:45 Eastern time. Barcelona and Shakhtar Donetsk. Obviously, Barcelona are prohibitive. 1-6 minus 600 favourites. The draw is 13-2. Shakhtar are 12-1. And it's goals, Baz. We're getting up to goals that area. Barcelona beat Antwerp 5-0. Shakhtar lost to Porto 3-1, but beat Antwerp 3-2. So we've got 5 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, and that's pretty much it. It's nothing bigger or cleverer than that. Starts the line of over 3.5 looks great. 9-10 minus 111 for over 3.5 goals, and then we go up. Over 4.5 is 11-5 plus 220, and over 5.5 is 9-2 plus 450. And I've got a 40-1 winner here for you, Baz, on the correct score market. Barcelona 5, Shakhtar 2. Fill your boots. 7 goals. What's not to like about any of that? Baz, if you're not clipping this on Thursday morning, I'll be sorely disappointed. Yeah, 40-1 that. Barcelona have the 5-2 win. But we're going up on the goals, ladder, Baz.
I can guarantee I'll be more occupied than... better occupied than clipping your winners on Thursday morning.
Oh, shit, you'll be on your holidays.
So I'll miss that one because you say don't miss out the early game. I'll be on a jet plane at that time. I reckon I'll land. I reckon I'll get to my hotel about an hour before the Newcastle Dortmund game kicks off.
Perfect.
I will be straight in and straight out. I've already sussed out where the nearest sports bar is, 5 minutes down the road. So yeah,
sports bar in downtown. What's the name of the resort?
Downtown Sharm El Sheikh.
Downtown.
Yeah,
Barry, you're ridiculous. Serial's joined us again. Hello, Serial. How are you? Yeah, he's asking why we're up late. You've missed the story why we're up late, but it's not a problem. Spurs play Luton again. I don't understand your reference, Serial. Elaborate. But anyway, Is that the end of the picks, Baz?
That's it.
Done. Oh, well.
Good night.
We need to have a chat off air about what we're going to do on Wednesday and Sunday rather than on air, which we normally do. I know that people like to see behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, Baz, but we'll do it in, well, I'll WhatsApp you or something like that. Okay, the old 5-2 is what Serial's referring to.
Yeah.
Right, I think we're done then, Barry. Yeah, good weekend of Premier League picks. Delighted with how it's panned out. Tottenham, what were the picks tomorrow night, Baz? Tottenham,
I took
Fulham.
Tottenham Asian handicap -1.
-1.
And you took
No, you did have it written down, yeah.
You took the 1.5. You went bolder.
I love the team total, Barry. Over 2.5 goals for Tottenham is 11-8 plus 137. I do think I can't see why they won't smash them again. I don't think there's anything fluky about what Tottenham are doing, and I'm really quite low on Fulham at the moment. Mafia's scored out Fulham as a cheeky money line play, which is a nice price, big price Fulham. Yeah, but I'm not buying it. They're round about. Oh, they're only 19-4, like plus 475.
Yeah, Mafia's also asking if we're doing a Europa League show. At this stage, we're not, because there's plenty of Champions League. But last year, when it got down to the knockout stages, we started putting some Europa picks and stuff out, didn't we?
Yeah, we tried. The thing to do there, Mafia and everybody else, is getting the Discord channel, because there's picks. You name it, there's picks in there. Azerbaijan women's second division. Someone's in there telling you that like Baku United reserves have got injuries or something. There's a lot of information going on in there. So if you're looking for Europa League picks, or it's all in there, like MLS stuff, and I know the American Champions League, the South American qualifiers last week. So go and get yourself in the Discord channel, and someone will point you in the right direction. And obviously, you can throw your picks out there as well, and we'll toast the winners, etc. That goes on in there. Right, okay then, Baz. Well, I'll officially say have a lovely holiday today. You're going to buy me a present, Barry?
It seems unlikely. I wouldn't even buy my own mother a present, Malcolm, so I'm not going to bother with you, am I?
That's very nice. Okay then. Well, have a lovely time in downtown Sharm el Sheikh. Yeah, we'll have a discussion, and there will be picks.
Definitely. We'll do
not a
something
problem
somehow. There'll definitely be some continuity across the next 10 days, but we might be a little bit out of sync with the schedule. Yeah,
so keep your eyes peeled. Subscribe. That's the way to solve that problem. When we go live now, Barry, I get a little notification from YouTube because I subscribe, and it tells you that we've gone live. So that's the thing to do. Right, good luck. Champions League, everybody. Have a great week. We will be back at some point. We'll see you down the road. Cheers.